Well, greetings, YouTube. Man, did I get a hell of a nice endorsement on my last video about Obama. Does Obama want to start a race war? My memory's so bad, so bad. It's got to be due to a couple of medical issues I got going on. But I'll get the guy's name that left it, and I'll put it on here if I remember to do that. And you guys should go check him out, man. He's got a cool channel. I'm just getting into it. But, man, thank you. Thank you very much. You know who you are. And then the rest of you can go read it. It's in the comments. And he gave me a good push, too, because, you know, I do have, like, the world's slowest growing YouTube channel, which is becoming almost like a case study. But anyways, one of the things he mentioned about, one of the things he mentioned regarding my videos was that I eat sunflower seeds. And you guys all know that's because I'm a former smoker. I can't do anything without fucking, you know, I gotta have something in my mouth at all times. So it's either a penis or sunflower seeds. I don't know about you, but I'm opting for the sunflower seeds. So, and by the way, do you know how much a bag of salted penises are? Whew, I can't afford that shit, not anymore. Come on, sir. So what I'm gonna do is, at the end of this video, I'm gonna show off a little bit and give you guys some instruction. After the credits, there'll be an instructional video on how to properly eat sunflower seeds, because there's a methodology to it, and I have probably spent 50 years perfecting it. I am the world's best sunflower seed eater. I don't want to brag, I don't want to boast, but I like hot butter on my breakfast toast. What? Okay, so on with the mission today. You're at Denny's or the restaurant of your choice. You got your wife and your 3 kids. Maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you got your wife and a couple of friends. You're armed, by the way, in this scenario. Now, you've seated yourself tactically because that's what you always do. You don't make a big cowboy thing out of it. You don't look around and make it real obvious and go, you know, gotta have my back to the wall. Your family, your friends, everybody ought to already know that. So, for example, when we've gone over this before with you guys, but when we walk into a restaurant or anywhere, everybody just kind of rotates around so that Dad, me, is in the most tactically advantageous position in terms of observation. Yeah, so I can see what's going on. Okay, so you're waiting on your moons over my hammy. Everything's going good. And all of a sudden, before you know it, 4 guys come busting through the door, and you know right off the bat it's a robbery. The first indication is that everybody's holding a gun. Second indication is that they're wearing masks. And the third indication is that they've already shot 2 people just as they walked in. So, you're in the middle of a shitty situation. I wish I was doing this live so I could ask questions and actually get answers. What are you going to do, and what is your family or the people you're with going to do? And do they already know this today, right now, before this shit happens? Give you some time to think about that. While I just troll along through the forest. Charlie, look at that boy. Look at him. Look at him. Oh, he's perfect. Look at the rat. He's okay. All right. And remember, everything I say is a suggestion. You guys do what you're going to do. You know, all I do is I try to put out information that may or may not help you. I hope it does. Reason I look down is you'd be surprised at how many arrowheads I find. It's just a natural thing. You gotta always look. Because if you don't look, you're not gonna find them. I wonder if Custer ever did that. Was looking for arrowheads and I found one. Alright, so here comes the train, so it's gonna get a little noisy. Alright, so here's the deal. Are you gonna draw your weapon? You're gonna draw your gun right there? I mean, and I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm asking you questions to get you thinking. And if you do draw your gun, how are you going to do that? covertly, that's what I would recommend. Now remember, in this scenario, you're outgunned, right? You got 4 people. Are you going to take on 4 people? Are you going to take on anybody with your family there? And let's just stop with the bullshit about friends and neighbors. Let's assume you got a family and your kids are with you. So, are you going to engage even one person when you got your 4-year-old daughter sitting next to you? I believe I told the story. I'll tell it again in brief, because it's a true story of an off-duty police officer who was in the parking lot when the robbers, I think it was one, ran out of the store, with a gun and the bag of the money and the whole bit. And he had his beautiful little girl there, and he said something like, "Here, sit down by this, get down." And he put her down by the rear tire of the car. And he felt compelled to engage the suspect. And we're talking money here, Don't judge him. Well, I've got to judge his actions, or I'm not going to learn from him. I happen to know for a fact he's a nice guy, and I know this destroyed his life. He used to go around speaking publicly to police officers about the mistake he made. He engages in a gunfight, prolonged, more or less, across the cars. And the suspect realizes, hey, that's his daughter sitting over there by that fucking tire. I bet if I shoot her, he'll get off my ass. And that's what he did. And he was right. He shot that 4 or 5-year-old little girl, killed her right in front of her dad. Suspect got away. And for the rest of his life, he's got to deal with that. Listen, gun carriers. It is so important for you, if you forget everything I say to you, it's so important for you to understand that because you have a weapon on you, you do not have to get involved in every armed conflict that takes place in front of you. I mean, when I give NRA, I'm an NRA instructor. When I give classes, I do my best, in the first primary class, I try very hard to talk people out of carrying weapons. Because once you know the reality of carrying a weapon, are you eating deer shit? The fuck? Come here. Sick fuck. Once you know the reality of what's going to happen when you start pulling that trigger, I mean, you're going to get sued. You know that, right? You may get Zimmerman. Oh, you erase it. Look, man, if you look like me and you carry a gun, man, you better hope to fuck you don't shoot anybody that's not white. Now, all you people of color that now think you got a free rein to come after me, don't make that mistake. The point is, for the untrained or for the new gun carrier, once you squeeze that trigger, you're in for a fucking year, minimum. Possibly more, but a year of hell. I'm telling you, man, I have had legitimate shootings, and I've ended up in federal court as the suspect, and I've had, explosive diarrhea every day, and fucking hiatal hernias, and stomach acid pouring out of my fucking, because of the stress, man, None of us want to lose our homes. And now the big thing is putting, white people that shoot anyone that other than white people, the big thing is putting them in jail. Because they thought Zimmerman was white and he got away with it in their minds. You better think about all this shit now before that fucking door flies open at Denny's. So back to Denny's. Let's just say you decide that you're going to engage. Now, why would you decide that? I'll give you my reasoning. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I've got a couple things against me. One, anybody who's anybody. I mean, you could come here from Pluto and take a look at me and go, I bet that fucker's a cop. I've looked like a cop before I was a cop. That's the truth. Some people just look like cops, just like I can tell motherfuckers that are parolees. There's nothing I could do. I could wear a fucking sundress and pumps, and I would just look like a cop that was also a drag queen. I'd probably look like a really sexy cop, though. This way, Charlie. Come here. So here's the deal. Here's what I would do. Now remember, all this has been gone through in my head years before, so I don't have to think about this shit. That's the key to this whole fucking video. is to go through this scenario so you're not trying to make a plan in the middle of fucking lead flying. Go through these fucking scenarios in your head. Even before you get your first gun. Even if you don't carry a gun. The only way that I would ever make a decision to engage somebody robbing a Denny's or someplace I was at just trying to get money, I don't care about their money, would be if they started executing motherfuckers. If it's going to be like a Luby's Diner, look that up. That was a long time ago. Or, San Jacinto McDonald's. I think that was one of the first mass shootings in San Diego. Near San Diego. If they're going to start fucking executing people, no. I'm putting fuckers down. One by one. And fast. Now, option 2. They look over and go, órale. Mira la gringo. The gringo grande. Esa la policía. Okay, once I hear that shit, sound like Donkey Kong, because they've just identified me, and I'm going to get executed. I may get executed, but not without fucking laying down some serious, accurate fire. Now, remember, we're in a crowded restaurant. So you got backstop to think about. You got a lot to think about. So last resort only, people, is what I'm telling you. Next scenario where I would get involved. What did I already say? Okay, they've started to execute people. That's number 1. Number 2, they look like they've identified me because I understand the word cop in every language on earth. Pig. Okay, they've identified me. Donut. They've identified me. Anyways, my family and I have gone over this ad nauseum. God, I love that fucking word. It's not a word we get to use often, but try it out sometime. They know that given a certain cue, a certain little secret family signal, or if I pull my weapon out, or if lead starts flying, they are to get as low as possible under tables. And here comes the key. Get as far away from me as humanly possible. Hopefully they're heading out through the exit door in the kitchen. But the bottom line is, we're going in opposite directions. The ones I love and me, and here's why. You already figured it out. You're right. Once the Glock 23 starts fucking heating up, the bad guy's attention is going to be on me. It's not going to be on them low crawling at 1,000 miles an hour out the exit. There's a reason for that. I want them to get away. See, I don't care if I die. I care if they die. Strike that. I do care if I die, but I mean, I'm not reckless. In other words, I don't fear it. That's not because I'm tough. It's just a personality thing, I mean, when you've been at death's door so much that you recognize death by fucking, you're on a first name basis. You're just like, oh, I guess I'm dying. So how's the family? Nice sickle. Anyways, okay, enough about me. What do you guys, and don't, if you don't feel comfortable, or it's not wise, don't lay out your fucking private plans like your code word and shit. But if you have one, say, hey man, this is what we do. Or more than likely, don't feel stupid if you haven't thought of this. This is the reason I make this fucking video. Don't feel like a dipshit. Like, oh God, man, I don't have a plan. I hope that you're the one I'm talking to. Because I want you to have a fucking plan. And if anybody else has better ideas, or different ideas, share them with us. Alright, this video's gone on too long. The next video I'm going to do is, unless there's some political bullshit coming up, I got some other ideas. But, in 2 days I go under the blade, so I'm not sure how. I don't think it's that serious, I mean, unless I get like fucking anesthesia, fucking brain damage. I'll just have to hold the phone with my left hand, which is a bitch. But I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to wipe my ass. Sorry, I get crude sometimes. All right, that's it, man. Too long of a video. Love you, Beb. And thanks for all the compliments. Those of you that share this channel, really appreciate it, man. You guys take care and have a great rest of the weekend. LMS Tactical out. Yeah. I forgot to mention, listen, go look at some of the surveillance footage of these robberies that are going down where shop owners and citizens are shooting people. Some are getting really good hits. Bad guys are wearing vests now. They're wearing armor protection. It is imperative that when you're on the range, when you're shooting, you fucking get very comfortable with the 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. I'm old school. That's how I operate. Put 2 in the 10 ring and always move up to the head, because don't be surprised if these guys are wearing vests. And when you get hit in the vest with a bullet that doesn't penetrate, it just tends to anger you. So you don't want that going on. Remember, you're not shooting to kill. You're shooting to stop. And if a guy has a fucking bulletproof vest on, he's not going to stop. So boom, boom, he's going to double over. That gives you nice time to get that front sight on his fucking, on his bell. And, you know, exhale slowly, stop breathing as you're simultaneously pressing that trigger back very slowly. Boom! He should hit the floor. That's it. Now, back to the credits. Okay, I'm glad you guys decided to stick around and watch this video on how to properly eat sunflower seeds. I guarantee you this is going to change your life. The first thing you do is you don't put one at a time in your mouth. That is absolute bullshit. That's not how it's done. Carry a whole pocket full at all times. You grab a handful. Now I got dog leashes in my other hand, but I'll try to do this. And you put the whole handful in your mouth. Don't worry if you drop some, you're just feeding the squirrels. Shove them into the cheek of your choice. As for me, I prefer the left side. And you do that until you start to get a hole. Once the skin on your cheek becomes so burned from the salt that you can see through it and see your teeth, you switch sides. Now, I'm going to show you how I rapidly do this. My tongue darts to the left, touches a seed, pulls it into the cracking chamber, whereupon, through experience and practice, I roll it onto its horizontal position, do a crack, not all the way through, flip it into the vertical position, split it with my front choppers, dart my tongue in, like I'm on my first date, pull the seed out, and simultaneously spit the shells out. Here we go. I'll do a few of them. Charlie, where are you going? Come on. Hey. Some are faster than others. But you see how fast this is? I don't have to keep reaching in my pocket. Watch. It's going closer into the yellowness of my cavernous aperture. Reach in, grab one, horizontally crack it, turn it perpendicular, split it, screw it. No, this is full speed. Should have about the same timing as a bolt-action rifle in the hands of a good shooter. Okay, so there are two reasons. Well, there's more than two, but two primary reasons why this is cool. I may make this a separate video. It's so awesome. I'm also leaving a trail behind me of shells. So in case I get lost in the forest, I can follow my shells, find my way back. Benefits are endless. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Go get a bag of seeds. I prefer David and Son. And rock steady. LMS Tactile out.